Around January this year, I got a custard bucket of fresh cherry tomato, commonly known as Erica tomato, for about 800 to 1000 naira. This is July, and that same species of tomato, the same quantity, which is the custard bucket, is sold for about 7 to 8000 naira. What happened? How did we transit from 800 naira to 8000 naira in a space of how many months? What changed? Hello everyone, welcome to Niger Tribe. This is Blessing, and today we're going to be talking about what happens or why do prices of things change at certain periods in a year. Why are things cheaper in January while some are more expensive in June? But before we dive right into that, if you're coming across this channel for the first time, you are very much welcome. Please do well to subscribe, like, and drop a comment. I'd like to hear your thoughts. I want to connect better with what you have to say in the comments. Please do well to share this so that others can also gain insights from what we are saying. Also put on your notification bell so that you get notified each time we put out a new video. In our next video, we're going to be talking about the seasons or the particular times in the year in Nigeria where you can get foods really very much more affordable than any other time in the year. I'm talking about where you can get crayfish, yam, beans, rice, tomato, anything literally cheaper than any other time in the year. You don't want to miss out on that video because it's going to be really eye-opening and exciting. So you have to put on your notification bell so that you get notified when we put out that video. Okay, all right, if you've just done that, let's dive right into the video, shall we? The number one reason why foodstuff may be more expensive at certain periods in a year is because it may be the planting season. Usually during the rainy season, which spans from around April to around August, September or so, farmers go to their farm to produce new crops, so there is little or no supply from the farm. So what we have left is usually the old stock of farm produce, or old stock of foods. And because there is no supply from the farm to augment the demand, there is usually scarcity, and because there is scarcity, the goods are usually more valued and of course costlier than usual. For example, this is July in Nigeria and this is rainy season. Like currently, the cost of tomato, pepper, everything is way high because a lot of producers have gone into the farm. Like I said, there are lesser foods everywhere currently. The second reason could be festive season. During special celebrations like Christmas, Easter, Salah, Ramadans, there's usually more demand in food. People are doing events, everybody's demanding food at the same time, so the demand is usually more. So you see things like meat, chicken, proteins, and even normal food produce, even though it may be available in the market, even though it may have been harvested at the time, because the demand is usually more because of such events or celebration. There is usually increase in cost of things. Caterers are demanding more to cover for their catering services in events, hotels, restaurants. Everyone is demanding for food. So literally, the demand usually overwhelms the market, or is usually more than the supply, even though the produce may be there or the harvest is already there. So because the demand is more, of course it places value on the available products, and of course the increase or the higher price in the produce. So when there are special celebration or festive seasons, prices of things usually skyrocket, and after that it comes down. Okay, like prices of chicken, proteins, meat, even usual like normal farm produce usually go up around that time. But once the celebration is over, everything usually comes down. The third reason why food may be more expensive is the cost of transportation. Recently, there have been hike in fuel price, bad roads, and sometimes disruption in the supply chain. Once there is disruption in that supply chain, that is the chain from the farm to the market, there is going to be more value on the products already in the market. Since there is no supply, since there is disruption in the supply, there will be more value on the products already, on the old products already in the market, and so prices are unavoidably going to be higher even if products are available or have been harvested. The fourth one is insecurity. In recent times, there have been high incidences of insecurity, especially in this part of the world, in this part of Africa, in Nigeria. There have been cases of herder and farmer, crisis where they have clashes or conflicts, and there may be fighting, insurgency, banditry, and so the lives of the farmers are usually threatened, and a lot of them abandon their farmland in search of shelter and safety. So because the farmlands are abandoned, there is nobody farming, there is no produce coming, so most people depend on the foods made genetically in some parts of the city, which of course is not healthy, and of course which would eventually get more demanded for. Another cause could be high storage cost or preservation cost. In cases of perishable products, let's say tomato, fruits, vegetables, potatoes, all of those vegetables and perishable, carrots, the cost of preservation is usually way lesser than every other product. Okay, talk of rice, beans, fish, and the rest. So when the cost of preservation is lower, of course there's definitely going to be a lower price, because you can't peg the price of your tomato so high. If you peg it so high, nobody's going to buy it, and it will eventually spoil in your hand and you will lose. So when the preservation and storage cost is lower, it's way more cheaper than when you have to spend so much on freezing and preserving or processing it to store it for a longer use. We're going to be stopping here for now. If you learned something from this video, please do well to like, share, so that somebody else can also get this insight. Subscribe to this channel if you have watched up to this moment, and you've not subscribed. Why subscribe? Please subscribe. Drop your thoughts in the comment. I'd like to hear from you. I'd like to read from you. I want to connect better with you. Put on your notification bell so that you get notified when next we drop another video. In our next video, we'll be talking about the seasons in Nigeria, or the periods in the year where you can get foods way cheaper than other periods in the year. You don't want to miss out on that video, so you have to put on your notification bell so that you get notified when we make that video. But until then, do not forget that I love you. Take care of you. Bye.